Okay, starting off our air brake inspection. First of all, we need to make sure that both our primary and secondary should be at up to the full. That means 120 to 135 psi, and that's where when you hear the cutout sound. After that, you can push this red valve in, which is the trailer supply valve, and right after that, gonna turn off the engine and bring it back to the on position. Once it is on, so that we can see all the gauges working. See, that's why we bring it to the on position. Now we're gonna go out and disconnect both of our air lines. Whenever you're coming out or inside the truck, always use 3-point contact and always facing the inside of the cab. Before we start anything, we should make sure that our trailer and truck straight parked at a straight line on a plain ground, and there are both chokes put in. Now, first we remove the blue and then put it here. As soon as I remove the red one, the air will be leaking out of here. The reason is because we have pushed the red valve in. That's the trailer supply valve. See? The air is coming out of there, and then we'll return back to our truck and we will see that the gauges are going down because the air is leaking out of there. You can see here both the primary and secondary slowly losing the air. Anywhere between 40 to 60 psi or more, this red valve will push out automatically. So just keep an eye and you will see that anywhere between 40 to 60 or more, that red valve will come out automatically. That's the first thing we should be checking. That's the trailer emergency valve. 40 to 60 psi or more, that should pop out. There you go. And now at 60 psi, you will have your low air warning. In this truck, these are the red lights. They are on. That means your low air warning lights and buzzer is working. Buzzer right now it's not working. It will only work when the truck is start. Now after that, we need to check the tractor protection valve. For that, we use the trailer parking brake, push it, and then hold it for 2 seconds. Try to hear for any audible air leak. We don't hear any, so that means our tractor protection valve is working perfectly fine. Now, the fourth thing we need to check the tractor parking brake. That should be also automatically come out when the air reaches anywhere between 20 to 45 psi. So for that, we'll start pumping the brakes. That's how we lose the air. Anywhere between 20 and 45, that yellow button will pop out. There you go. As soon as that pops out, that means 4 things we have checked. Now we need to go out and connect the air lines. Once again, same 3-point contact, 2 feet and 1 hand, or 2 hand and 1 foot. Need to connect both the air lines properly. And now we will go inside and start the engine and check our compressor's health. We need to start the engine, rev it up at 1200 RPM, and need to check that the air is built from 50 psi to 90 psi in less than 3 minutes. For that, we need to rev up the RPM at 1200. Very good. So keep it at 1200 RPM, and at the same time, we need to keep an eye on our air gauges. As soon as any needle reaches the 50, we need to start our timer. Okay, start it. Now from 50 to 90 psi, it should be done in less than 3 minutes. If it is taking more than 3 minutes, then that means our compressor is not building the air properly. Maybe the intakes are clogged or the compressor is faulty. Once we reach 90 psi, we can stop the stopwatch, but we'll still keep on revving the RPM. Now you can see at 60 psi, the low air warning turned off. In this truck, right now, only the primary tank is filling up. That's why the needle is moving only on the primary tank. Once that reaches up to 100, then the secondary will start to fill up. And as soon as the needle on secondary tank reaches 60 psi, the light will be turned off and the alarm will be, the buzzer will be turned off as well. Because that's the low air warning. Now as you can see that secondary tank is filling up and the needle is moving. 60 psi it will be turned off, the buzzer and the light. That means our low air warning is working fine. At 60 psi it turns on, and when the air is filling up 60 psi it turns off. Now we just keep on watching. As soon as we reach 90, we can stop our stopwatch. Almost there. Okay, we'll stop it. How much? 1 minute 50 seconds, that's good. So our compressor is all good. Now we keep on revving it up. Open this window a little bit so that we can hear the cutout sound. The cutout will happen anywhere between 120 to 135 psi. Every truck is different, but that's why there is a range. Anywhere between 120 psi to 135 psi, the cutout will happen and we will hear a third sound. Both the needles are going up. We have already up to 110, 112 psi. The pulse sound. I'll sneeze from the air dryer. There it is. So the cutout happened fine. Now we need to check the cut in. So in order to check the cut in, we need to lose 20 to 25 psi of air from the cutout. So if the cutout happened at, let's say, 120, we should lose air and go up to 95 to 100. For that purpose, what we need to do is we push both the valves. First the yellow and then the red. This way we will lose the air 20 to 25 psi. You can see the needles are going down on both. So anywhere between 105 110, that means we have lost 20 to 25 psi of air. So now see, almost 105. Now we have to rev the RPM again and put it back to 1200 and keep on watching these same needles. When they start going back, then that means our cut in is working. And usually we wait for another cutout. Once we hear the cutout, then we will go to that next step, which is the whole system leak test. So just wait for the cutout. Needles are moving back again. That means the cut in is working fine. When we lose 20 to 25 psi of air, the compressor cuts in and starts sending the air back to the air tanks. The cutout. Okay, so now with our brake brakes pushed in, that means released. We're going to turn off the engine and then turn it back again to the on position so that we can monitor the gauges. Now, need to bring back the stopwatch and press and hold our brakes for 2 minutes. So I have pressed the brakes and holding it for 2 minutes. In those 2 minutes, we should not hear any audible air leak from the outside of the truck, and the gauges should be stable, and we should only lose 6 pounds of air, 4 pounds for the truck and 2 pounds for the trailer. Any additional trailer or dolly converter, you can keep on adding 2 more pounds. So if there are 2 trailers and a dolly, so then in that case you'll be losing 10 pounds. But right now in this condition, we have got just 1 trailer and a tractor, so 4 pounds for the truck and 2 pounds for the trailer. Let's assume that 2 minutes are over. So after that, you're gonna release it. There is no air leak. Now one more thing which is left, it is the automatic slack adjuster. In order to do that, what you need to do, you can press the brake and hold it for 2 seconds for 2 times. That means 1, 2, release it, and right away press it back again. 1, 2. Now my slack adjusters, the automatic slack adjusters, should be adjusted automatically, but I still need to go out and check at least one axle, both the brake chambers on one axle, and make sure that they are within the adjustment. After that, you can go out and remove your chocks, and then we will try to move the truck forward a little bit, and we will check the brake response test. That means the foot brake, and then later on the trailer brake. But make sure, and that's where most of the people fail, before you go out to remove the chocks, make sure that you pull these brakes out. Without pulling these brakes out, if you go out, that's it, you'll fail automatically.